morning, guys. Happy Sunday. So today is my last day in New York. Sadly, I'll be leaving Rachel soon. It's very unfortunate, but it's time for me to get back to my life apparently. But I just wanted to show you guys my haul from BookCon yesterday. So let's look at those. Okay, so I got this cute bag, May Your Song Guide You Home vinyl. It is part of a collection of items that I got from an author, and her name is Sophia Elaine Hanson, and I discovered her at BookCon, and I'm quite pleased that I did because her whole setup and everything was really cute. This is the information about her. So I'll link her stuff in the description box below so you guys can go find her and everything. But her books are vinyl, and then the second one is Radio, and the third one is Siren, and it looks pretty cool. So it's sort of a YA dystopian series where they use music as a form of control and also a form of rebellion is my take on it so far, but I haven't exactly started it obviously, but I'm really excited for that. So that was part of my haul. And then of course I got Kristen Martin's Be Your Own #goals, which I'm very excited for, and she signed, so you know that makes me happy. She's gonna be in Bali with me, so we talked about that for a minute. Let's just talk about meeting people that we see online, you know, influencers or famous people. In our minds they're famous, at least. I mean, they have a larger reach obviously than most of us. I don't understand why it's so hard to be normal around these people. Like, I actually felt nervous for some reason meeting Kristen, even though I can tell from her videos and all the content that she puts out there that she's a genuine person. She's being authentically herself, and so there should be no reason why I should be nervous to meet her. But for some reason I was, and I don't know why we do that to ourselves. They're all just human beings just like us, and we all you know, I was just watching Queer Eye for the very first time, and they were talking about everybody's human, everybody has, you know, basically the same wants and desires. When it really gets down to it, we're all the same, and we're all just looking for connection and love in this life, and so there should be no reason for us to be nervous, but for some reason I was, so I plan to be better next time. I'm gonna shake it off and stop being such a spaz. But anyways, back to the haul. So the next book I got was, I'm not exactly sure about this, but it was $5, and for those of you who don't know, I have an obsession with Pride and Prejudice, so I watch all the movies that they make about it, and then I read a lot of the spin-off books using that story, so I got this as a fun little thing. So it's A Date with Darcy. And then I got this book, which is called Glow, which looks really interesting. It is about the Radium Girls, which is something that I know very little about, but it's very woman-centric and seems to have a lot of you know, self-sufficient women and ambitious women, and I'm excited for the story and learning a little bit of history. So then I got another romance, which is odd because I don't normally pick out romances, but apparently I did. So To All the Boys I've Loved Before, but I liked the premise where she writes these letters to the boys that she's dated or loved, but they were never meant to be sent to any of them, and then somehow, some way, they get sent to all of them. So I think that's an interesting premise. You know, what would happen if you actually told the people what you really thought and felt, you know? The ramifications are vast, probably. And then this was my free book of the day, which I was very excited to get because I'm a fan of Chuck Wendig. I have his Penmonkey book. I can't remember the title of it right now, but I'll put it in the description box below. But this is supposed to be a great book. It's supposed to have just a bunch of little things that you can read quickly to kind of you know, give yourself a boost or snap yourself out of writer's block, or feeling like your stuff isn't good enough, or just being lazy, honestly. So I'm excited to have this in my arsenal of books for writing. And then I was intrigued by the booth that I saw this book at, Out of the Shadows. So this is an indie author, and I was happily surprised by how much effort she put into her booth, and her and the person that she was with were dressed up in like steampunk attire, and their booth was decorated the same way. She did a good job of putting little blurbs in photo frames, saying, you know, if you liked Hunger Games and Pride and Prejudice, then you're gonna like this book. Like, we learned in a panel earlier that day that name dropping is an excellent marketing tool, and sure enough, it worked for me. So I am interested to check her out and see if this book's any good. And then the last romance one I got is from Twinkle with Love. It is about a girl who wants to direct a film, and you know, it's just a fun summer read. But I like the setting. It's not a setting I would normally read a book about, so I'm interested to see how that goes. And this is the last one. So this is another indie author, Orwell by Nicolene Evans. It looks like it's probably kind of a YA high fantasy, and her setup was very ambitious as well. She has a lot of books that she's written, both young adult and children's books. And even though, you know, the way her book is laid out is a little bit not on the professional side, as far as, you know, it's double spaced, and it's just not what you would typically see in books in bookstores and everything. I was willing to give it a try and see if I liked the story, because when she presented it to me, she talked about it's all about dealing with forgiveness. And so, and you know, she said a few other things that were very poignant and, you know, stirred something in me. So I was interested to read a high fantasy story that takes, you know, real human emotions and places them in that story. So I'm willing to give it a try and see how it goes. So that is my haul from BookCon, and I'm very excited about the books I got. I tried to steer clear from the books that I knew I could get in like Barnes & Noble and stuff, because I still frequent Barnes & Noble, I still frequent the independent bookstores in my area, and so I still want to be able to purchase books from those brick and mortar stores to support them. So even though I did get some books that I could have gotten at those bookstores, I only did it because I got them at huge discounted prices, but I steered clear from the ones like I intend to read the Sarah J. Maas series eventually, and I saw all of those books there, but I didn't buy them this time because I know I can get them at those stores. So anyways, that was my haul from BookCon, and I definitely intend to come back at some point. It was great. Even in New York, we were able to find nature. Green space. It's so pretty here. This actually makes me be able to take a breath of fresh air, because being in the city, I can't do that very much. But being out here, it's really pretty.